It's time now to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Vicki, we've got some stuff to talk about today.
We certainly do, George. How you doing today?
You know what? I'm great. I'm great. You know, I don't know if you've noticed that there's a little bit more crispness in
George,
the air.
Yes, sir. I have noticed that there is a little bit more crispness in the air. And I also noticed that I turned my thermostat up and turned on the heat in my house.
Okay.
A little bit this last week. Happy to see that the weekend's a little bit better, but yes, I have noticed the Christmas, but I have also noticed, I'll say this very quickly, how beautiful the foliage is this year with all of the extra rain that we had, and everything is just stunning, absolutely stunning. So George, I'm going to dive right into it this week because I think we have a couple of very hot topics that we need to be sure that everyone understands and acts on. So now, as you recall, last week as I was ending, I said that this week we would come in and talk about interest rates in the Federal Reserve. I am going to table that because a critical date is coming up, October 31st.
And it ain't because it's Halloween either.
Okay. But this critical date is coming up that we need to be sure that we don't just let slide by, because it could be very impactful and truly financially impactful for a lot of people. You know, there's been a lot of talk, and this week we had a great announcement that the fact that the beta testing site is now live for anyone who wants to go ahead and apply for the new federal student loan forgiveness program. As you know, the Biden administration announced this federal loan forgiveness program, I think, about 2 months ago, and said, more to come as far as the process for applying. Well, you can now apply through that beta system. And what they mean by beta is that anytime you bring a computer system online, before you fully deploy it, you want to go through some testing, because the only way to find bugs in a computer system is through use. So they opened up the system announcing that it was a beta site, meaning that they know that there will be some bugs that will surface. That's the purpose, so that many people can use it and those bugs can be resolved. But they do expect right now, at least, that that's going to be fully live by the end of the month. For those who are in the beta system, you will not have to reapply. They will go ahead and move you to the live permanent site at the end of the testing period. And that's great news, absolutely great news. But here's what's going on that it just dawned on me the other day that's happening that we might be, that we need to be aware of, and that is the public service loan forgiveness. And we talked about this earlier in the summer before I left. The PSLF, Public Service Loan Forgiveness Waiver, is going to expire on October 31st.
Yeah, you told us this, early,
Okay, for those individuals who have been working in not-for-profit institutions, teachers, those individuals who worked for public service like governmental agencies, anything that qualified as far as the 501c3 type institutions, and have been doing so for the last 10 years. There was a program that was implemented back in the Obama administration, in fact, that if you worked for those 10 years and paid your student loans on time for that 10-year period, that at the end of that 10-year period, your loans would be forgiven. Totally, not $10,000, not $20,000, forgiven. But what happened is, over that time period, from the time of the beginning of the program until the eligibility time, which would have been 10 years hence, many of the loan servicing organizations that were supposed to have kept records on those payments weren't doing so accurately.
You couldn't find any information.
You couldn't find any information. You couldn't get anybody who knew from A to Z what was supposed to be done. So the approval rate, even though individuals had worked that 10-year period consistently and religiously and followed what they thought to be the correct rules, the approval rate for forgiveness was abysmal. I think it was like 2 or 3%. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is after many complaints and legislation and individuals really working with and complaining to the Department of Education during the Biden administration, what happened is they went back, looked at the results, and yes, it was correct that the program was broken and badly broken and was a disservice to many individuals. So a waiver program was put in that would allow you to go through to the public service loan forgiveness program and file this waiver to have your records restructured and looked at for correction. And many of the individuals now who have in the past had been denied would now be approved. But that waiver period ends on October 31st, which is right around the corner.
That's
so
a week from today. That's a week from today.
Thank you, George. That's exactly.
Well, a week and a day. So
it's the
next
following
Monday.
It's the following Monday.
Okay? Yep.
So you cannot let this slip away because this is a big deal. You know how we talk about the year of Jubilee?
Yes.
Where all debts get forgiven? Can't say that all debts are being forgiven, but if you have a student loan that's $60,000, that's a lot of forgiveness, isn't it, George?
That's a lot of forgiveness.
Okay, so if you are qualified for the PSLF program and you have not actually had your records screened to see if you have actually met your obligation, you need to stop right now, go onto the public service loan forgiveness site and apply for the waiver program so that your records can be examined for loan forgiveness to be sure that you have been credited with all of the necessary credits in order for your loan to be forgiven. This is a big deal. You cannot wait. Please don't sit back and wait and say, oh, I need to think about it. The clock is ticking because after the 31st, I am not sure what's going to happen as far as how it's going to be applied going forward. Yes, George?
Just to reiterate, like you said, this is not the same as the debt relief initiative.
No, it is not. And because the debt relief initiative has gotten so much press over the last, 2 months, we haven't heard anything about PSLF. And so I know that there's confusion and I know that it's slipping under the radar for many individuals that they should be actively pursuing, particularly if you worked in schools, if you work for any type of not-for-profit, if you have any type of service that should have been credited for governmental work, you need to stop right now for anything in the public service sector as work that you had to make sure that you are applying through the waiver. Yes.
Now, what's interesting is that when you think of nonprofit, that also would include hospitals, I would think. It would also include universities, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
So, when we think insurance companies, some of them, right? Yeah,
it depends. Okay. Because there are a few that are in the 501c3 area. Yes, you're correct.
Right. Yeah. So it really does. So you may be more qualified than you think is all I'm getting at.
Exactly. You may be, and that's a great point. You may be more qualified than you think. So what I would say, what Vicki would say, what America's Money Maven would say is you are better off applying for the waiver and getting rejected than waiting and finding out later on that you should have and you missed the date.
Yeah.
Please, because this is going to be, to have this type of debt, as far as your student loan debt, totally paid off, will change the way your financial trajectory, your financial future forever. It will change your future, it will change your family's future, it will change your children's future, because to have that debt removed does nothing but levels you up in your financial future going forward.
I like that.
Well,
Levels you
George.
up. Yes.
Levels me up. Okay, that's what happens when you work with interns. They tell
There you
you
go.
stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so levels you up. Okay, going forward. So here's the thing that I want to say before we close. If you have any questions, please go out. Please feel free to give us a call at area code 315-930-4499. You can always reach us also through info@Brackens, that's BRACKENS Be sure also to share, like, and subscribe to our site here on YouTube, and to make sure that you tell everybody that that America's Money Maven is live and well and doing well, okay, here on Inspiration for the Nation every Sunday morning at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Eastern time. And let's recap, folks. I'm going to do the 15-second recap. You ready, Vicki?
Okay.
Don't forget,
All right.
you have just 1 week to apply for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness and Waiver Program. 1 week for that. And they're currently beta testing the Student Loan Forgiveness Program as well. So two different things.
Two different things, please remember. Two different things. Okay.
All right.
All right, George. So I guess I'll go ahead and say at this point in time, our plate is full.
All right. That's Vicki Brackens. She's the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC, America's Money Maven.